everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Inda, and today I'm with my beautiful girls,
Gabby
and
Janelle.
So they're on holidays this week, and they felt they should, come on and let's just have a chat. So basically, we'll be talking about the educational system here. We'll be talking about life in primary school, secondary school, how things work around here. So I'm just going to start off by talking a little bit about nursery. So in this country, we are in Scotland, which might be slightly different from the rest of UK. So how things work in England, Northern Ireland, Wales might be slightly different from how things work in Scotland, but it shouldn't be very far off. Okay, so when they were in nursery, at that time, they were getting 15 hours and 50 minutes, which was just about 2 full days and a half. And that meant that all children 3 years and above can go to nursery for free for those times. If you want your child to spend more time in the nursery, that means you'll be paying for the extra hours that they spend in the nursery. I don't know how many hours they get now. It's been a while that they've been off nursery. So sorry, I can't really share on that. Anyway, so we'll just be talking about primary school. So in Scotland, primary school is up to primary 7. And that means they spend 7 years in primary school. This is equivalent to year 7 in England, which is already in high school, I think. So our cousin who is in England is in year 7, already in high school, while she's still in primary school. It's slightly different, but not very, very far off. So Janelle, let's talk a little bit about primary school.
Okay, so like in primary 1, there's a transition days from nursery to primary school, and you would always get assigned 1 or 2 buddies, and they would be the people to show you around the school and make you feel comfortable and safe.
So she's in P7 and she has a buddy in P1. So basically it's just to teach them some form of sense of responsibility as a senior pupil, and also for the younger pupil to help that child feel safe and comfortable in the school, and just to help them settle into school nicely. Okay.
Yeah. So in primary 2, our topic was agriculture and farming. So we had the opportunity to go to a farm and learn more about animals and how the farming life really works.
We got to make pizzas for that topic when I had it.
Yeah, so we went to Pizza Express.
Yeah, so you went to Pizza Express, we went to a farm. I think the idea is just active learning. They help them, they help them to, learn these things practically. Things that would stick longer than just learning in the class alone and just doing theory.
Yeah. In primary 2, we were also on this BBC show called Swashbuckle, which my sister was one of the main people because we had to do auditions. And only 4 people from primary 1, 2, and 3 got to be the main people. And then the rest of the class were background people, like cheering them on.
Yeah, I was also part of it, so it's also an exciting time for me. Yeah, Gabby was one of the main characters, and that means that I also enjoy some VIP treatment as a mom, because they sent from the studio, from BBC, they sent like transportation.
The cabs were really boring.
They sent transportation to pick us up, to take us to the studio, so I went with her as a carer. And I was giving some preferential treatments in the studio and VIP treatment, and but I think it was an absolute
it was very fun.
It was a good experience. Gabby, do you want to talk a little bit about how that experience
So basically, we went in the cab there. It felt like it was 5 hours, even
because you were very young. Of course, what do you expect?
My attention span was really short. I was always like wanting to play with something. And then when we got there, we had like private changing rooms where we were changing to our costumes. We had microphones in our top so they could always hear us. And we had different games to do, so we tried to win them.
All right, good. That's nice. That was a nice experience. What season was that, by the way?
Season 6, episode 1. Go watch it right now.
Season 6, episode 1. It's quite an old one, but yeah, she was on that show, and she also was on the backup show, so she also enjoyed the studio, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice experience.
I think this was like primary 4 or 5. Part of the curriculum is learning how to have balance on a bike, or at least be comfortable on one. So we had this thing called Bikeability.
Bikeability.
So the school would either provide a bike for you, or you could have your own and bring it to the school.
So the idea is that no one has an excuse to say, oh, I don't have a bike, or anyone put under pressure, or any parents put under pressure that, oh, for this curriculum, I need to buy a bike. No, the school would provide if you don't have your own, okay?
And yeah, so there would be 2 professional bikers, I think that's what you call them. Professional. And they would come in.
Bike tutors, let's call them
Bike tutors. And
Bikers.
they would come in and teach you like the basic steps on a bike, and like what to do like if there's a car coming while you're on a bike, or just how to like balance on one. So yeah, that would be the first level. Then there's level 2, which is you go to like your local park or like a secluded area, and you ride around there and doing some drills.
So you actually ride to that local park. So that means you go on the main road. They teach you how to behave on the
Like
road,
signal.
how to signal, what to do, you know, where to stay on the road and the likes of it. So like real life, okay?
And then at the very end of the term, you get your certificate that is either level 1 or 2 of Bikeability.
Yeah, that's good. All right. So
Don't
any
forget the
other?
badges. We also get like really cool badges at the end.
Yeah.
And also part of the curriculum is swimming, which is in primary 5 or 6. Hers was in primary 6 because of lockdown, but mine was in primary 5, I'm pretty sure. And what it was mostly about is learning how to swim, or at least be comfortable in water. And if you could do it, you'd be in the higher level, but if you were like still a little bit like uneasy, you would go in the lower level. But people would always be changing levels.
Yeah. So I think the idea for this one is so that they just like learn life skills.
So it was like survival swimming.
Survival
So if you
swimming.
find yourself in a compromising situation, you'd know how to like compromise.
Yeah, so you know how to survive or how to help yourself out. So any other highlights of primary school?
There was our residential trip, which is basically when you go away from home to a different place.
For how long?
For ours was for 2 nights and 3 days.
Wow,
doing
2
fun-
nights and 3 days away from parents. So again, they just help them to gain some independence and also to bond with other people, to be able to work in teams. Mainly the residential trip is about doing different activities, and they do them in groups. So they want to
like
see
gaining
that,
more skills.
yeah, gaining more skills. Because you do things like
Archery,
abseiling,
fencing,
canoeing, all sorts of activities, like very diverse kind of activities, but they get to choose what they want to do. Anyway, and I think the idea is that you would what was that?
challenge by choice.
Challenge through choice.
Challenge through choice. What does that mean?
It's like you know your difficulty level, or like you try to do what you think you can do, but if you still think that you can go through or like do more, you should do it.
Yeah, you would not be forced to do anything that you don't feel comfortable doing. However, the idea is challenge yourself, push yourself to do something. But if you think you can do it, that's all right. We're not going to push you to do it. Just, you can do without it.
Yeah. And we also have to develop our 5 C's.
Okay. So what the 5 C's?
Creativity, curiosity, communication, collaboration, and critical thinking.
Yes.
Okay. So I think they assess this all through
they also
all
assess
through your
this all
time in
through.
primary school. Does it apply to high school as well?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so they check all of these 5 C's.
They won't tell you that they're checking for it though. They just kind of look through your work.
So in other words, parents, it is not all about the math and the English, learning how to do those things. There are other things that they're assessing your child for. They're assessing them for how creative they are, how they can collaborate with other people, their curious mind, and all those other C's. So please, let's try to pay attention to these things so that we can help our children to develop these skills. They are life skills, actually. Okay, so let's move on to high school a little bit and talk about Gabby. So before we talk about high school, there's never been a time when they came home to, say, oh, we have exams this week in primary school. No. They didn't do any exam whatsoever. Well, how do they then assess the children?
So usually at the beginning of the year, they would give everyone the same sheet. And depending on who performed better on that sheet, they would put you in groups so that they can work with each group individually.
Okay, so even though they are of the same age in the same class, every child is not on the same level. So children are doing different things on different subjects depending on where their level is. So
but the levels aren't like set in stone or rock solid. You can move up or down.
Yeah, so they're not setting any child to say this is your limit. You can't go beyond this. So even in that same year, they keep moving and reviewing your child as they go, and they move them up or move them down depending on their performance. Okay, so what else can you say to us about high school or primary school? Oh yeah, I can remember something about Pup Parliament.
Oh yes, we had a Pupil Parliament in P7, which is like you had to fill in an application for a role that you want, and they would also interview you for that role. She was a secretary.
Well, I still am the secretary.
She still is the secretary.
I can remember the application very well. They're like proper, work applications that we do. They almost, if it was possible, they would have asked for them to bring their CVs. But because, they are still quite young, they just gave them questions to answer. And then they went through an interview. You can imagine them going through interviews already. What do you think? Of course, they're growing their, skills, how to talk, how to be interviewed, what to say, how to make your point, communication skills and the likes of it. And even as the Pupil Parliament, they're giving you leadership skills. So they're getting you involved in politics, in government, in leadership. Please do encourage your children to go for those kind of things.
What other skills do they say that we need to improve as well? I can't remember what they are.
They're called the 4 capacities.
Yes. 4 capacities. What
which
are
is
those?
Confident individuals, successful learners, responsible citizens, and effective contributors.
They have 4 capacities that they also assess them on. It's just it's very different in the sense that it's not all about the book alone. It's very holistic, making sure that your child has like a balanced education. Encourage your children to go for those extra things. There was something about young leaders of learning.
So Young Leaders of Learning is this group of primary 6s and 7s, or sometimes it can be 5s to 6s.
I was Young Leader of Learning 2 years in a row, 5 and 6.
They normally have one thing in general about the school that they need to work on. Like right now, I'm in the Young Leaders of Learning, and we're talking about peer and self-assessment.
You can imagine. So what they're doing basically with this is, again, you have to write in an application, do an interview for
these
this.
things continue on in high school as well.
Interesting, you see. So they are trying to help them with their decision making, help them to be able to make effective decisions, because they are talking about their education system. How can we improve this? What can we do to make things better in school and the likes of it? So there is just so much that is going on in the education system. And thank you again, Gabby and Janelle, for sharing some of your experiences and knowledge with us. We really do appreciate it. I'm sure the parents as well appreciate it.
If you want us to come back, you have to leave a comment and a like.
All right. Oh, nice. Okay. Thank you very much once again. I hope you enjoyed watching us. See you later. Okay. Subscribe and you share with other people, and we'll be back sometime soon. Later. Bye.
Bye.